Okay, fine. So today we are going to discuss, as per our syllabus, the unit 2, which is called FIR Digital Filter Design Techniques, then probably properties of digital FIR filter. So I think the first two topics, right, I'm supposed to cover as part of today's class. If time permits, I'll give you what exactly design of FIR filter using the techniques of Windows. Otherwise, at least up to here, all of you must know what exactly FIR filter and what are its properties. So let me use the PPT of today's class, class 12. Yeah, this one. So before I start the finite impulse response filter design, all of you must remember that there will be two different types of filters. One we call it as a FIR filter, the other one is called IIR filter. The full form of FIR will be a finite impulse response, and IIR stands for infinite impulse response. It's very simple. I think so far whatever we discussed, I think when you do the convolution, or when you do the circular convolution or linear convolution or LTI system, every system will be represented by one particular signal. I gave the name of that signal as impulse response. Yes or no? Remember, h of n, I used to represent most of the LTI systems. And any input you try to give it to an LTI system, it is our job to perform a linear convolution between the input and h of n of the system, so to get the final output. Yes or no? Recollect what all we have discussed in the previous classes. Is it okay? Respond. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, then respond. Don't be keep quiet, right? Don't think that somebody else will respond. Whoever comes to you, you parallelly respond. There's nothing wrong in that. Okay. Fine. So I hope h of n is. If I ask what is h of n, how do you? What is the name is given for h of n for any system? Respond. What is h of n? Is it not impulse response? Again, nobody is talking. At least 4 members are there, no?
Yes, sir.
So h of n, can I say that it is an impulse response?
Yes, sir.
So h of n is a continuous or discrete?
Continuous, sir.
Continuous. H of n will never be used to represent a continuous. N is discrete, right? Yeah, discrete means you are going to have some samples, no? Discrete samples.
Yes, sir.
So suppose h of n is equal to a of n, u of n. Suppose I am writing that way. Can you tell me, is it the length of the impulse response is finite or infinite? A power n, u of n. What does it indicate? U of n stands for unit step signal. Yes or no?
Yes.
So how do you define unit step? U of n is equal to 1 when n is greater than or equal to 0, and it will be 0 when n is less than 0, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, n length, is it finite or infinite? The number of points we try to draw in the u of n will be a finite or infinite? Again, I'm telling it's not amplitude. I'm talking about the length. N equal to 0,
Infinite.
n equal to
Infinite.
So any signal you multiply with the u of n, a power n, u of n will become finite or infinite?
Infinite.
Infinite. So whenever the length of the h of n is infinite samples, then you can say that that particular response is called infinite impulse response. Similarly, when the length is finite, h of n equal to 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, something like that. How many samples have you just mentioned? Only 5, isn't it?
Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Simply a negative slope. So in that case, the length of the impulse response is only 5. You can call that particular response as finite impulse response. Is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So the numbers what we are going to represent as part of the impulse response will describe the behavior of the type of the filter. Means it could be a low pass filter or high pass filter, or it could be a band pass and a band stop. So ultimately, once we are going to design the filter, the objective is you have to find what is h of n. If h of n is finite in the length, we can call it as FIR filter. If h of n is infinite, we call it as an infinite length filter or infinite impulse response filter. So is it okay? Shall I proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So wherever you find you are unable to follow or I'm going beyond your understanding or grasping level, please let me tell. Okay, so that I can repeat. So let me start with very basic definition of FIR filter. Just now I mentioned to find output of any LTI system, you are supposed to perform a convolution operation. So in the discrete linear convolution operation, already we have discussed h of k, which is an impulse response, is multiplied with x of n minus k, and then you perform the summation from k is equal to 0 to n. This is called linear convolution. Okay, in this, what is hk means? It is basically impulse response of the LTI system. And to know the frequency response, generally we try to apply the Z transform, where Z transform I have not discussed so far, but try to remember there's something called Z transform, which will represent the Fourier transform or frequency response of a discrete time system, where that is the expression for Z transform for the given impulse response h of k. We'll see how it is going to work in the further classes. So let us say the properties or features of the FIR filter. So very first property, FIR filter is always stable. So it's very simple that if the length of the signal is finite, to store it in memory is practical. Yes or no? If a signal has finite number of samples, don't you think I can store the signal in a memory with less memory or a finite amount of memory?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when you have a finite of memory, so definitely they become stable. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It is something like, if I want you to give an assignment of only for 2 questions, you feel happy to take and write and submit because only 2 questions. And I'm keep on, the moment you submit, I immediately give 2 more questions. So it is a never-ending process. Every time I'm telling only 2 questions, you have responded and you have written and you have submitted. Again, I'm giving 2 more questions. Don't you think you feel that it is okay, or you will become unstable after some time?
Unstable, sir.
Yeah, unstable, no? At least the performance will be degraded. You will not be giving your, the interest, showing the interest the way you have submitted for the first time. Correct or not?
We'll submit it, sir.
I'm telling generally, okay, to understand the concept. Okay, don't write in the exam all these things. You try to understand what is the meaning of a stability. So FIR filter is always stable. That is the first point you must remember, at least by using this example, but write only this statement: FIR filters are always stable. Then second point is, FIR filters can have an exactly linear phase response. So the linear phase response indicates that whatever delay you apply in the input, same kind of delay I'll get in the output. That's called linear, basically, meaning of linear phase response. I'll give you exact mathematical definition of what is linear phase response, but you try to remember as the second property or the characteristics of the FIR filter. It's more important, linear phase response. Third one is called, FIR filters are very simple to implement because they are finite in length. I can use a practical memory. Non-recursive. The meaning of non-recursive means when somebody wanted to use some kind of hardware to design an FIR, like your machinery, right? To make some machinery, don't you think so many components you need to assemble and then make it a machine? Yes or no?
Yes.
Similarly, in the filters, when somebody wanted to develop, they need some digital components. Generally, we call digital building blocks. We have flip-flop is one, which is generally called delay element. Then we have D flip-flop actually. Then we have adders. Then we have multipliers. So the way we have in mechanical system practical machinery components, in the electronics we have something called digital building blocks, where adder, multiplier, and delay element. These are the 3 basic building blocks. And once you try to connect among these 3 devices, where adder, multiplier, and this delay element, if you feel that the output is feeding back to the input, it's generally, you might have studied feedback control systems in mechanical.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, feedback control system means output is fed back to the input to get error minimization. Yes or no? Correct or
Yes,
not?
sir.
So when there is no connectivity between the output to the input, you can call it as a non-recursive. If there is a connectivity, it's called recursive. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. There's something like, no, when you drive a vehicle, right, on the road in the free time, simply you go with some speed without bothering how much speed you are going. Yes or no? In the normal time, there is no class. There is nothing like simply you wanted to go for a ride. Okay. You drive the bike and you have no idea about at what speed you are going. Simply you are going. That is more important. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now suppose you are maybe you are in a competition for bike racing or something like that. In that game, can you go in the similar way or you wanted to go fast?
Speed fast.
Right? How do you come to know that how fast you should go?
Comparing.
Comparing, right? How do you compare? By looking at the speedometer, right?
Yes.
By speedometer will be giving the information to what? Your brain, isn't it? Through eyes you see, your brain will see that, okay, I'm going with a certain speed. Then what do? You try to increase acceleration, isn't it?
Yes.
Then speed is increasing. So you tell me, is it not closed loop system now?
Yeah, closed loop is.
Yeah, when you are riding a bike, it's called closed loop system, is called recursive system. And when you are going on a bike on the same way, but in normal time, is it open loop or closed loop?
Open.
Open loop, because simply you will go, you won't take any kind of no recollection, right? You are going, that's it. How much speed and all, you don't worry about it. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So recursive and non-recursive, I hope you understood now.
Yeah, basically in recursive we have target, non-recursive we don't have any target.
Yeah, that is in terms of no objectives, but in terms of design, I'm telling.
Yeah, okay.
In terms of design, there is no connection between the output to the input, and it is called recursive. If at all there is no connection, okay, no connection means non-recursive. Connection means recursive. Okay, is it clear? So FIR filters are recursive or non-recursive?
Non-recursive.
Not recursive. Okay. So this is the third property, or you should remember this most important three properties. One is stable, the second one is the linear phase, third one is called, it is a non-recursive structure. Now I said, mathematically I said of what is phase response, I just now I mentioned. I think I have discussed about DFT and all in the first unit. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so in the DFT, the frequency variable will be capital K, isn't it? That is what we have used. Yes or no? Respond. The DFT equation will be x of k is equal to summation over n is equal to 0 to n minus 1, x of n, then e power minus j 2 pi by capital N into nk, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But here you can see DFT is a direct transform or it is a derived version of DTFT. I think very beginning classes I told this point. Is DFT is a direct transform technique or it is extension of the discrete time Fourier transform? Which one is right?
The extension of DTFT, sir.
Very good. So there should be, before DFT, there should be discrete time Fourier transform, isn't it? So that is what the equation 1, what you see on the screen, it is an expression for discrete time Fourier transform of a finite impulse response. The reason is h of k, where the change of variable is given, instead of n, k is given. K values are given from where to where? 0 to capital N. So how many samples are there in the h of k based on the summation? How many samples? N plus 1 samples. So n plus 1 is a finite or infinite?
Finite.
So finite only. So can I say it is a FIR filter?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is an expression for discrete time Fourier transform of a finite impulse response. So expression is given by k is equal to 0 to n h of k e power minus j omega kt. Okay. And whenever you try to perform DFT or a DTFT, I think one or two example you have done, no, but by using matrix method. If input is 1, 2, 3, 4, output, do you remember what we got in the DFT case? Remember or not? 10 minus 2 plus 2j minus 2 minus 2 minus 2j, isn't it? Everybody, try to remember. I think
Yes,
in the PDF document, no, I might have shared. Maybe in one of the class, we have done the DFT of 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when we calculated the DFT, the output we got complex numbers or real numbers.
Both, sir.
Both. It's a combination,
Complex,
right? Yeah. Even one number is complex, you can say result is complex. Okay. At least even one output is a complex, you can say whole output is a complex. So when a particular number is a complex, how many parameters you would like to extract from the complex number? Is it not two parameters? One is magnitude, other one is an angle.
Yes, sir.
So that is what I'm telling. When you try to perform the discrete time Fourier transform for the equation 1, the resultant signal will be a complex in the nature. Then that resultant complex signal can be represented by a magnitude into e power phase. So magnitude is represented by between the vertical lines h of e power j omega capital T into e power j theta omega will be the phase. Agreed? Is it okay?
Can you repeat, sir, please?
No, any complex number will be represented by magnitude and phase. Yes or no? Magnitude
Yes,
will
sir.
be under root of a square plus b square. If it is a plus jb, under root of a square plus b square will be the magnitude, and the phase will be tan inverse b by a, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to give some symbolic representations for both of them. Under root of real number square plus imaginary term square is represented by magnitude of h of e power j omega capital T in the equation 2, not equation 2, the equation 1, the next line, okay? Then into e power j theta omega. Can I write that way? To generalize, always my result of discrete time Fourier transform is a complex in the nature. That is the reason I am trying to represent my output in the two polar coordinate form. Polar coordinates means magnitude into e power j phase representation. Yes or no? Respond. Is that clear? E power j omega t, e power j theta omega.
So means like h of e of t means imaginary number, sir.
Not h of k. Capital H of e power j omega t will be the imaginary, because in the DFT 1, 2, 3, 4 are real or imaginary? Your h of n.
Real only 1, 2, 3. 4.
Real only. So h of k can be real or complex, doesn't matter. But capital H will be complex.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Small h is whether it is real or imaginary, we are not bothered. What is capital H, we are interested.
Okay, what about theta omega, sir?
Theta omega indicates, suppose you got two. I just wanted you to remember that output 10 you got first sample, minus 2 plus 2j you got the second sample, minus 2 you got the third sample, and fourth sample will be minus 2 minus 2j, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are trying to refer it back, or what you are trying to do?
Yeah, opening previous lecture, sir.
Okay, you are opening. Maybe I don't know which lecture I discussed that point, but there is a DFT by using transformation matrix I discussed.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, now I want you, suppose the 4 samples we got the output, I want you to tell me the magnitude part. What do you do? For the 10 only, because it's only a real number. Second point will be minus 2 minus 2j, no? Minus 2 plus 2j. What is the magnitude of that?
Under root of 2 square plus
Under root of 2 square plus 2 square becomes 8. Root 8.
Yes.
Correct now, comma. Third one will be only minus 2, so minus 2 as it is you can write. Then last one again under root 8, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then what is the angle or phase of the given result?
Tan
For the
inverse
first,
of
tan inverse of imaginary is not there, so 0 you can assume. Tan inverse 0 by 10, isn't it?
yes, sir.
So tan inverse 0 by 10 is what?
0.
0, comma. Then tan inverse plus 2 by minus 2.
135 degrees, sir. minus 45 degree. Minus 45 degree.
Minus 45 degree, comma. Then again 0 now?
0, sir.
Okay, comma. Then tan inverse minus 2 by minus 2.
Same, minus 45.
So how it is going to work? 0,
Minus
then minus 45, then 0, then
plus 45.
plus 45. Correct or not? So only 4 numbers are there. You are able to pick point 0, minus 45, 0, plus 45. So it looks like if there are 100 numbers are there, don't you see there is some kind of pattern you can see between the amplitude heights?
Triangle, sir. Yes.
Yeah, here it is like a triangle, but if more and more points are going to come, don't you think you can see some linear line?
Yes, sir.
That is called linear actually. Linearity means that is what it means. Linear phase response. Even the previous example also is linear only because between 0 to 45 is the linear only. 45 to plus 45 again, minus 45 to plus 45 is also linear only. Again 45 to 0. So it is even though it's a triangle, but it's a consecutive lines of a linear lines. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So keep on adding points, 0, minus 45, plus 45, 0. Is it not linear shape only they are trying to get added? Maybe negative and positive slope is alternative. Yes or no? That is your theta omega. So theta omega is equal to 0, comma, minus 45 degree, comma, 0, comma, plus 45 degree. That is called your theta omega. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Yes,
Okay, fine. So I'm trying to give symbolic representation for the result. So whenever your result is complex in the nature, I'm going to get two different quantities, magnitude quantity and the phase quantity. The magnitude quantity is 10 comma root 8 comma minus 2 comma root 8. That is capital H of e power k omega t. And phase will be 0, minus 45 degree, then 0, then plus 45 degree. That is your theta omega. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in mathematical form, it is represented by this way as equation 2 is going to represent your only phase term. Phase term means you are 0, minus 45 degree, then 0, then plus 45 degree. Okay. Is that clear? I want you to respond. It's only a mathematical representation.
So that is phase and magnitude, sir. Like what is phase delay, sir? Group delay and phase delay.
Now I'm explaining that. But till now it is okay, no? Till equation 2 was okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now coming to the phase delay, tau p, it is a symbolic representation. Group delay is a tau p. So the equation is given by whenever you get theta omega by omega, right? You get a relation something like this. My theta omega you got divided by omega you try to perform, and it will give a constant, right? Whenever it is a constant, you can call it as a, but the expression is given. Whatever theta omega is given to you, for every sample you you divide by omega. That is the meaning of it, and the minus of that. So it indicates that it is a linearity. Other way I will tell you. Here theta omega is equal to omega into tau p, no? Other way if you write theta omega is equal to minus of omega into tau p, can I write that way?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, y is equal to mx plus c. Mathematical equation you remembered?
Linear equation. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So say y is equal to mx plus c, c equal to 0. Then line is going through
Origin.
origin. So here also in your c equal to 0, theta omega is equal to minus omega tau p. So here y equal to mx, no? So what is m? What is x? Can you tell me in this?
M is tau t.
Yeah, m will be tau p. X will be your variable, which is omega, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you try to plot a magnitude plot, it should have a linear which is going through origin, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So the slope, whatever slope you get, m is a slope now.
Yes, sir.
So that slope is called phase delay. Is it clear? In our example, if omega is equal to 0, 0 you got. Omega is equal to, I don't know, k equal to 1 means how much you will get it, we don't know, but it's only DFT. But in DTFT, More the points you can easily identify. The change in omega will give you change in y-axis. So how much change? It should be proportionally change. If 0 to 1, whatever change you are going to get, 1 to 2 also you should get same change. Then slope will remain constant. So in that case, whatever slope you are going to get is called phase delay of that given phase response. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now second thing is group delay. So meaning of a group delay is you try to perform differentiation of the given phase response with respect to the omega, then it should be a constant. First one is theta omega must be a constant linear relationship. Second one will be differentiation of theta omega with respect to omega will be a constant. Is it clear? Mathematical?
Sir, for group delay, it will be definitely it will be a constant, no, sir, because it
Yeah,
is
generally
linear.
that is what both are same. That is what I'm telling.
Yes, sir.
Generally, if theta omega is equal to omega into tau p, if you try to divide with, obviously you get a constant only, no?
Yes, sir. For linear equation, it will be definitely constant.
Yeah, so that is called linear phase filter. So this must be there actually. For any FIR filter, this equation must hold. If they are holding, then your filter is called linear phase filter. Okay. Now I'm giving a simple definition. For any frequency response, if the phase delay and group delay are constants, then you can call that particular phase response the linear phase response. Okay. Is it clear mathematically?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So condition for the linear phase, it is given theta omega must have minus of alpha into omega. Just now alpha is nothing but tau p, isn't it? Some constant, some number you are supposed to get it. Okay. Or else theta omega can be slightly change in no. Mx plus c is also acceptable. The line need not to go through always through the origin. It can go through somewhere also. In our previous example, you said no. At 0 you got 0. At 1 I got minus 45 degree. At 2 you got plus 45 degree. So when minus 45 degree to plus 45 degree, you just draw the line. Is it cutting at origin or it is cutting at somewhere else? Tell me. Well, the line
Can
which
you
is
repeat the question?
yeah, the line which is going to be added between minus 45 degree and plus 45 degree definitely will not going through the origin, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that is called your beta, mx plus c, no? The only thing is negative slope. We got positive
Okay,
slope,
sir.
so you can say that is what actually. So the condition for the linear phase is whatever theta omega you are going to get it once you design the filter, it should have either of these two possibilities, equation 3 or equation 4. Either it should be of minus alpha into omega, or it should be of from beta minus alpha omega. Anything is okay. Where alpha and beta is called constant, and constant group delay and phase delay response. Is it okay? We'll go to the next slide.
Okay, sir.
Then comes if a filter satisfies the condition given in the equation 3 from equation 1 and 2, where theta omega equal to minus alpha omega. Now we are trying to represent in the first equation 1. In the equation 1, e power j theta can be written as sin theta minus j sin theta. Can I write that way?
Cos theta minus.
Yeah, cos theta minus j sin theta. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, what is imaginary term? What is real term? Can anybody tell?
Cos theta is real term.
Yeah, means what is in this equation? Hk into cos j omega kt, isn't it? In the summation, if you replace e power j k omega t with cos theta minus j sin theta format, then you are going to get real part as hk into h of k into cos j omega t. Yeah, cos j omega k j omega k theta t capital T. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is the imaginary term? H of k into sin omega k capital T, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you have in the equation 1 real and imaginary, can't you write expression for the angle of the h of e power j omega t? Capital H. Right hand side you got imaginary and real. So I think already we know the expression for the phase Tan inverse imaginary by real, right or not? So that is what it is written here. You can see here. So theta omega can be written as minus of alpha omega you want. So which can be equated to tan inverse of minus, which is given there. Minus of means e power minus we have taken, no, in our expression, because it is minus is there. So that is the reason minus of summation n equal to 0 to n. Instead of k, we have replaced with n only. H of n into sine omega n capital T divided by h of n cos omega n capital T. Can we write this way? Respond. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, tan, because it's a tan inverse, you make tan towards left hand side. So what it is going to become? Tan omega alpha, isn't it? You are trying to equate as per the equation, no, that the phase delay, it should be minus alpha omega. So minus alpha omega is equal to tan inverse, whatever it is written there, minus of summation n equal to 0 to capital N, h of n sine omega n capital T divided by summation over n equal to 0 to capital N, h of n cos omega n capital T, isn't it? So can I write tan omega alpha is equal to this much again? Tan you are making towards left hand side. I think
Okay,
my cursor is, you are able to see
yes, sir.
cursor movement.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this term is there, no, minus into alpha omega is equal to tan inverse minus of this one. So can I cancel minus and minus if I equal these two? Can I cancel or not? When
Yes,
I
sir.
cancel minus and minus, this tan can be taken here, so it becomes tan omega
Yes, sir.
alpha, isn't it? So tan omega alpha is equal to this much. Simply a mathematics it is, okay? So here I think same thing. I want what is this?
Cos 2 theta.
No, let me check actually. This term has directly come. H of n. No, I think we are substituting somewhere. Cos omega n is sin omega alpha. Okay. Sin alpha by. Okay. So can I write tan omega alpha is sin alpha by cosine alpha?
Yes.
Yeah, then you can do the cross multiplication.
Okay, yes, sir.
Then it becomes 1, no, left hand side. Tan omega alpha can be written as sin omega alpha by cos omega alpha. Then you take the cos omega alpha from the bottom, you multiply with the right hand side, cross multiplication. Then are you not going to get left hand side will be summation over n equal to 0 to capital N, h of n cos omega n capital T into sin alpha, sin omega alpha. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And right hand side you will get n equal to 0 to capital N, h of n sin omega n capital T into cos omega alpha. Yes or no?
Okay, sir.
Then if you take all of them at one side, you will get this expression. What is given in the first two one. Okay? Simply a mathematics. Okay? There's nothing great in that. Only thing is you need to apply your mathematics concepts. You're trying to derive an expression for something called alpha. Okay? Because initially our assumption is this only, no? Condition for the linear phase response, theta omega must be equal to minus alpha into omega. Alpha we are supposed to calculate. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Respond. So yeah, for that only we are doing all this analysis. So here what we did, cos omega n capital T sin omega alpha minus sin omega n capital T cos omega alpha is equal to 0. Then cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. What is the formula?
Sin of
Sin
B
A,
minus.
sin A,
And A
sin
minus
of,
B.
yeah, sin of A minus B. So I think A is sin A cos B minus sin B cos A, something like that. Okay. So sin omega alpha minus omega n T equal to 0. Can we write that way?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now finally, to get that expression 0, the condition is required is h of n must be symmetric. The meaning of symmetry is, suppose I have a 5 samples. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Is it symmetric or not? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir. With 3.
Otherwise, if it is an odd number of samples, if it is an even number of samples, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That is how I should have. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is one condition, and second condition is alpha must be, if you so actually mathematically we have not given here. The solution for the second equation in this slide is given by h of n is equal to h of capital N minus n minus 1. That is the one condition which is called symmetry condition, and the other condition will be alpha must be equal to n into capital T by 2. Is it clear?
How can you similarity can check, sir?
That is what you just go through mathematics, know how the solution of this particular equation is going to come. But even if you substitute here alpha is equal to capital N T by 2, what is going to happen? For mathematics, I just leave it to you because the derivation is not given here, but only solution is given. To get the second line, no, which is h of n into sine of omega alpha minus omega t equal to 0, there will be two things it has to satisfy. First condition will be h of n is equal to h of capital N minus n minus 1. No need to do the derivation part, but you try to remember this. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Alpha is equal to n into capital N into capital T by 2. So either of these two must be there. It is represented in the figure 7.1 and A and B. I don't know whether, yeah. Here it is given. Okay, symmetry, right? First one is it not symmetry? First one?
Symmetry also.
The center of symmetry it is given as, because it's an odd sample, even samples. But the odd sample is given in the bottom one, B. Correct? A and B are going to give you two symmetry conditions with even number of samples, with odd number of samples. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Whereas figure C and D is also basically symmetry, but it is called skew symmetry. Skew symmetry means negative of the right hand side or left hand side. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Like similarity if thing happen only like alpha equal nt by 2 or else?
No, that is the condition is there. It is given here.
If
H
alpha
of n
equal
is,
nt.
yeah, it is given, no? C and D. When the condition given in equation 4 only, where it is, yeah. If it is 4, which is given here, only 4, right? Then you are going to get skew symmetry. Means when there is the line which is not crossing through the origin, you are going to get a condition this one, where h of n is equal to minus of h of capital N minus n, which is skew symmetry. Okay? Or beta equal to pi by 2. When beta is equal to 0, you will get symmetry, which is A and B.
Yeah, but alpha condition is not changing, so like alpha is
Alpha remains same. Alpha remains same because it should be a constant only, no?
Yeah, okay, but only h of n equal to h of n minus 1.
That is only, but it is called skew symmetry basically. Symmetry only, it's called anti-symmetry. Okay, negative of the other side is called skew symmetry. Generally we call.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So because how many total possibilities you have? 4 different possibilities, no, for linear phase filter.
Yes, sir.
So these 4 are called type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3 filters. Now you try to understand. The linear phase FIR filters are categorized based on their behavior of the samples. If the number of samples are even and it is following the symmetry, it is type 0. If the number of samples are odd and it is following the symmetry, it is called type 1. If number of samples are again even but skew symmetry, type 2. If the number of samples are again, actually it is not written correctly. It should be 0 actually. For the all skew symmetry, it should be 0. Where the D in the D figure, even that is not mentioned, it must be 0. Otherwise, it is not possible. Okay. Is it clear?
Yeah, like what should be 0, so like
0 means n equal to 11 points, no?
yeah.
So middle one is not mentioned here. Or it could be anything. 0 or non-zero doesn't matter. With respect to that middle point, left and right side should be skew symmetry. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So I think total 4 filters is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
four types of FIR filters which can satisfy the linearity is nothing but these 4 figures only. So whenever you develop any FIR filter and you try to draw the H of n, it must satisfy any one of these 4. If it is not satisfying any one of these 4, it is no more a linear phase FIR filter. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah, okay, sir. But in C and D, there is no difference at all. Like,
Yeah, he made a mistake actually. The D, there should be some number. In the C, there is a gap, right? Gap is a difference. You cannot say there are no difference.
yeah, okay.
In the C is exactly, there is no sample at all between the left and right side sample. But whereas in the D, there will be some sample exactly at the middle. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Like in the
samples
C and
at
D,
point.
there will be the crossing line in between.
Yeah,
the
crossing line does not have any sample in the C, whereas crossing line will have the sample in the D.
Okay.
Okay. Is it clear?
Possibly it will be 0, no, sir, at point.
Need not to be. It is not given. Here it is given 0, but it need not to be.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So what should be called as a C and D types?
Skew
But it
symmetry
should
type
be-
2.
Basically, they are odd and even number
Yeah,
of
that's what. 0, 1, 2, 3. Type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3. ABCD respectively.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So when you have the 4 different types in the visualization, mathematically also you should see 4 different mathematical equations, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, sir.
So I think these are the mathematical equations you should remember. Frequency response, it is given in the 3rd column. Impulse response symmetry, right? Odd and even. First 2 will be the symmetry, second, third and fourth will be skew symmetry or negative symmetry. Okay. So these are the frequency responses for equations. It is a type of linear phase. One actually in the most of the textbooks is given as 0, 1, 2, 3, or else you can also give type of the linear phase 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything is okay. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
So when you have 4 mathematical equations, in all equations A of n and B of n, there are 2 different symbols are used, isn't it, to represent a signal or impulse response? Yes or no? Or else I will say type 1 and type 3. What is the multiplication factor for the sine and cosine?
Sine on.
AN.
A of n, right?
Yes, sir.
So A of n is because the odd, they both belongs to the odd, so it means n equal to 0 must be there, isn't it? 0 sample will be there, no? That middle point. The middle point will be non-zero. That is the reason it is given h of 0 is equal to h of capital N by 2. Can I write that way? A of 0 is equal to h of capital N by 2. Is it okay or not?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, A of n and B of n equations are given. For other case, where type 2 and type 4, B of n is given as 2 into h of n plus 1 by 2 minus n. Okay. These are the mathematical terms or equation you must remember. You have no other choice. Is it clear? I want you to know at least write 10 times so that you can remember these 4 different types of FIR filters. Is it clear?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now this is an example now. So we have discussed what is FIR filter, what are its properties, then what different impulse responses you can get it to have a linear phase, to provide group and phase delay will be a constant. Then we have finally achieved type 1, 2, 3 and 4 filters. Now this is one of the example. So what example in the in the examination also will get similar to this. Symmetric impulse response for the linear phase response, no phase distortion, will be either of these 2 conditions. Whether it will be even symmetry or it will be odd symmetry. Even symmetry means h of n is equal to h of capital N minus small n you can write, or else odd symmetry means h of n is equal to minus of h of capital N minus n you can write. Anything is okay. Is it clear? I'll give you an example. If n equal to 0 and the total number of samples are 8, means capital N equal to 8. Can you tell me if you substitute n equal to 0, what you are going to get? h of 0 is equal to h of 8, isn't it? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
H of 1 is equal to
7.
h of 2 is equal to.
H of 6.
So I hope you are able to see that symmetry how it is going to happen.
Okay, sir.
Yes or no? Similarly, other side will be only negative symmetry. Same only, but these are the mathematical representations. Now coming to the equation 2, for n equal to 10, it is given h of 0, h of 10, h of 1 is 9, 2 is 8, 3 is 7, 4 is 6. Because even you don't have any middle sample, correct? Yes or no? Yeah, you tell me, is it type 1 or type 2 or a type 3 or type 4? The example 2, what is given?
Type 1 only. 1 only.
It's a type 1 only because it is following even number of samples.
Yes.
And it is having a symmetry.
Yeah, symmetry only. Positive symmetry.
Yeah, that is how you must remember. The question, the moment in the examination it comes, no, the first thing it should come to your mind is only those 4 figures only.
Yeah, for the first problem, it will be positive or negative figure, sir.
This one, first one, that it is telling only it's the information is given. Example is ultimately the one only. The either of these two you should remember, okay?
Yeah.
So now here, just a minute, I'll just move this one. Yeah, frequency response. Now we are trying to derive the whole for n equal to 10. Example is given, no, n equal to 10 in the previous one. Just a minute.
Yes.
So that we are substituting here. The standard equation for the discrete time Fourier transform is k is equal to 0 to 10. It's a even. Basically, it is given. It is given for odd. No, 0 to 10 means odd, isn't it? 0 to 9. 0 to 9 means 10 samples. 0 to 10 means
11 samples.
11 samples. That is the reason you can see h of 5 has come without any power is 0. E power 0, isn't it? This is your a of 0 point. It is basically. Just now I mentioned no a of 0. Just a minute. My screen is not going back in the previous slide. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Yeah, you can see in the bottom left a of 0 is equal to what? H of? Bottom left.
N by 2.
H of n by 2. So it generally that is your 5. H of 5 is this one. Because capital N is equal to 11, no? Capital N is equal to 11 or n plus 1 we said, no? So capital N is equal to 10 you can take. So 10 by 2 which is 5. So h of 5. Is it okay? Is it clear? Respond.
Yeah, what happened those multiply with j e power of j omega, sir?
It is there, no? For this it will be 0, no? H of 5 you try to substitute. H of 5. Just a minute. Yeah, when you have, I think k omega, you are going to get something like 0. Let me check. 0 5, j omega t 5 omega t. Okay. When k equal to 5, e power minus j k is 5 into omega t, right? Omega is equal to 2 pi by capital N, and capital N is how much? 10. So 5 by 10 is how much? Respond.
5 by 2
Pi by 2. Pi by 2 into capital T. Irrespective of the capital T, e power minus j pi by 2 cos 90 minus j sin 90, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
So something like you'll get this.
So we left with sin pi by 2 minus cos pi by 2, right?
I think you'll get 1 always, I think. That value will be 1. Okay? You substitute k equal to 5 and omega is equal to 2 pi by capital N. Then you'll get 2 pi by, no? So it will be e power j pi t, sorry. It's not pi by 2. It should be pi, no? Omega equal to 2 pi by capital N, no? Try to substitute k equal to 5, omega is equal to 2 pi by capital N. What do you get? 10. You'll get 10 pi by 10. 10 will get cancelled. So it will become e power j pi t. Isn't it?
Yeah, sir.
So e power j pi t is nothing but cos 180 minus j sin 180. No? What is cos 180?
-1.
-1.
And already make sure that it should become +1. How it is going to, somewhere we made a mistake, check verify.
For 2 pi it will be +1, sir.
Then it should be -i in that case. Okay, that I'll leave it to you, just verify. But somehow the e power j term will not be there. Only you have it out with plus minus, isn't it? That we verify. So it is given here. You're trying to you're trying to combine h of 0 is equal to which term here? H of 0 is equal to which one? H of 10, isn't it? H of 0 is equal to h of 10, right or not?
Yes.
I wanted to combine both of them, because if I want to combine both of them, h of 0 into e power j phi omega t, I need to substitute. When I am going to e power j phi omega 2 t, how can I do it? Mathematical simplification. I think somewhere h of 0, h of 10, h of 1. This is fine. H of 1 and h of 1, h of 9. Where is h of 1? This one. Okay.
Sir, e power I theta plus e power minus I theta is.
So that is fine. I'm just finding h of 1, h of 9 are same. It is acceptable. For the h of 1, if you try to multiply by e power plus j omega, no, plus j 4 omega t, then it becomes e power minus j omega t. Generally, if you put bring this e power minus j 5 omega into this here, it becomes matching. But this will increase, not double. It will become double, isn't it? Yes or no? The mathematics, they're trying to combine, that is acceptable. I got it out. This one you should get it. H of 10, what is the multiplication? No, I agree. H of 10, what is the multiplication factor here? E power?
-10j.
Out of the e power minus j10 minus j5, if I take it out, how much is left here?
Like -5 it will be there, sir.
Yeah, so that -5 is this one. The remaining -5 will be outside. Whereas for this h of omega 0, nothing will be there, isn't it? Are you able to follow?
Okay, sir. So that it is possible.
Yeah, then what I'm doing, I'm multiplying e power plus j 5 omega as well as e power minus j 5 omega. Both becomes what?
1
0 only, no? You understood now?
Okay, sir.
Similarly for 1 also similar way. Here it is 9 omega t, here it is minus omega t. Again in this you take -5 omega common. So only 4 will left out. Yes or no?
Okay, sir. Taking common. Okay, sir.
Taking common. Somehow you are making something like cosine term should come into picture. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So e power minus j 5 omega t will be as it is. H of 0 you multiply and divide by 2. So cos j theta plus e power minus j theta by 2. It becomes cos, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So 2 into h of 0 cos 5 omega t, 2 into h of 1 cos 4 omega t, 2 into h of 2 cos 3 omega t. Like that, every term you got this one except h of 5. Okay? Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
So finally, you will get this equation: h of omega is equal to k equal to 0 to 5. Because I got how many terms after combining two e power j terms? Total 5 terms. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and plus h of I, total 6 terms. Can I write k equal to 0 to 6?
No, sir. It will be 7.
6 only. Verify.
0 to 7. 0 to
0
6
to
and
5
7
only,
times
sir,
is
because 6
5,
means
0 to 5 kada. 0 to 5 only, no?
5. Okay, sir.
Yeah, so then a of 0 is nothing but 2h of 0 into cos 2h of 0 will a of 0. A of 1 is 2h of 1. A of 2 means 2h of 2. A of 3 means 2h of 3. A of 4 means 2h of 4. A of 5 will be h of actually 0. Actually, reverse it is, isn't it? Are you able to follow? I'm trying to approximate the total 5 I told, no, this you must remember. Type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Which equation ultimately you are supposed to equate? Even or odd?
Odd, sir.
Odd.
Odd. So this one we are trying to equate, nothing else. Here it is given n. I am trying to take k. That is the only difference. In the table it is given n format. We are taking k format. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'm trying to equate. What is my h of omega is nothing but ak into cos k omega t. Theta omega means how much? Minus 5 omega t, isn't it? So
Yes,
what
sir.
is your alpha now? What is your alpha now? 5 omega, simple, no? 5 t in fact.
5t. Minus 5t.
5 t. Already theta omega equal to minus alpha omega, no? So alpha equal to 5 t.
Yes.
So I think that is what the calculation. So I think theta omega, is it a linear or not? Linear with respect to what is the slope?
Minus.
Minus 5t. Minus 5t.
Yes, sir.
Theta omega is equal to minus 5 omega t. So minus 5t will be your slope, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is what the only, it's a generalized example because numbers are not given. If h of 0, h of 1, h of 2, h of 3, h of 4, some numbers are given, simply you should substitute here in this expression. Okay, this is a solution for all type 1 filter, all type 1 FIR filters. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
It is a solution for all type 1 filters. Now this is type 2, I think. Isn't it? Odd number, no? Odd and symmetry. Yes or no?
Type 2, this one is.
Yeah, so the solution for type 2. I'm not explaining same thing. Only thing is end result. End result will be theta omega is equal to, earlier it was exactly minus 5 omega t. It is minus 9 by 2 omega t. Okay? Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Then other two I just wanted you to go through from the textbook. Which one? Type 3 and type 4. The response or theta omega for type 3 and type 4 you should find out. Okay?
sir, which textbooks we are supposed to follow, sir, for this? Prokis?
Yeah,
John G.
Prokis. Yeah, Prokis is better. If you find
Any other-
difficulty, yeah, if you find difficulty with that book, no, there is something called Oppenheim and Schaffer. There is one more book. It's also a good book. Foreign authors. Indian authors is there, but printing mistakes are there. I'm always worried to give names. Ramesh Babu, people generally follow. Or else there is one good book, Shalivahan and Vallavraj. DSP by Shalivahan and Vallavraj. It's a very good book for filter design at least.
Shalivahana and
Vallavraj.
Vallavraj.
Yeah, total 3 authors are there, but I remembered only through 2 names.
And the other one you said Ramesh?
Ramesh Babu, that is not, that is generally most of the printing mistakes are there in that. But if you are having the access to that book, you can follow that also.
So better is Shalivahan and Vallavraj.
Yeah, that is better always for this,
And DFT, IDFT, everything is also there in that book, sir?
yeah, that is also there. Okay. The title is Digital Signal Processing only. So I hope till now it is okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So let me continue. Zero distribution of FIR filters. This I can skip, it is not required. 4 types of linear phase FIR filters. I think these are all with respect to the design part. So this you don't study, okay? From the where to where means zero distributions of FIR filter is not required. From here onwards, we start how the filters are specified. It is something like we have discussed so far. What is FIR filter? What is its mathematical representation? And how the condition to get the linear phase. Then based on the linear phase, you come across 4 different types: type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4, isn't it? This is what we have discussed so far. Agreed? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now comes if somebody in the examination or in real time, if you are in a company, somebody would like to come to you and they ask you to design a filter for them. So when somebody wanting some service from you, they should give some specifications, no? Without giving a specification, any designer or a developer are going to give service them?
No, sir.
It is not possible, isn't it? Similarly, you are working in particular project where you are in need of a filter. So to use or to design the filter, you need some specifications, generally called specs. Okay. So there will be different, 5 different parameters you must remember. First parameter is called peak the passband deviation, or it is ripples. The second is called stop band deviation. Third one is called passband edge frequency. And fourth one is called the stop band edge frequency, and fifth one is called sampling frequency. Is it clear? This 5 you must remember. It's symbolic representation is also equally important. These 5 parameters will be represented by always these symbols only. Is it clear? Is it okay? You respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now what are they meant for? Okay, here if you look at here, the solid line you are able to see from 1 it has started. It is following the constant for some duration. Suddenly it will falls at omega p, and from there again it will be 0 up to pi by capital T, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So we want ideal filter, which is a black color. But when you design your own filter, definitely there will be deviations, no?
Of course, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, because nobody will design anything ideally, right? I want some specifications of some device. You try to make it. It may not meet 100% what I expect. Yes or no? Slight deviations are there always, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you write in examinations, right? For how many marks you write in the exam? For 100 marks generally, correct or not? However well you prepared for the exams, you attempt all 100 marks, but can you give a guarantee you get 100 out of 100 every time?
No, sir.
So deviation, right? How much deviation you expect? When I attempt 100 marks, somebody will ask you how much percentage you will get it. What do you say generally? What do you say?
10%.
Not 10%. Percentage of marks. You wanted to get 10% only.
Deviation is 10%, sir.
Yeah, deviation is fine. But overall?
90% we can.
90. So 10% deviation. No? So delta P is your deviation in the pass band. Okay? Is it clear? 0 to omega p. I told in the very previous class, theoretically when somebody is talking about the types of filters, minus 1500 to plus 1500. That is what we discussed in the previous class. Minus FC to plus FC, or minus omega p to plus omega p. But during the design phase, here specifications are represented only in the one side of the spectrum. So only positive side we are considering here. Negative side is equivalent to symmetric. Okay. So can I say 0 to omega p is a low pass filter or high pass filter? You tell me which one is right. Is it high pass or low pass?
It's a low pass, sir.
It is a low pass because 0 to omega p gain is high, and after omega p gain is almost less, 0, isn't it? And what is the maximum frequency? Is it not minus pi to plus pi? Yes or no? Respond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that plus pi is represented by normalization. That's called pi by capital T. It all depends on the sampling time actually. So that is not an issue, but it is maximum is pi only, because the 2 pi by capital T I keep on telling to represent capital omega or the small omega. 2 pi by capital N. Instead of N it is represented by capital T. That is not an issue. So when I want the gain must be constant in the pass band, but in all practical filters, it may not be constant. It is trying to deviate. How much deviation is expected? Delta P. We call it as ripples in the pass band. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. Next comes attenuation band. Attenuation means I do not want output at all. But simply you say that I don't want output at all. Can you give a 100% attenuation?
There are always some leaks.
Yeah, it is something like we use mask for coronavirus and all. Can anybody tell 100% the virus can be stopped by any what is that mask?
No, sir.
Initially they said 1 mask, later they said 2 masks, later they said 3 masks, isn't it?
Yes.
So 100% stoppage is impossible, but minimization is always expected, isn't it?
Yes.
How much deviation for the stop band? Again, delta. Actually, delta A generally we should write, but it is given delta R. That is not a problem. Stop band deviation is given as a delta R. Some of the books delta A will be given. Delta A and delta P. Pass band attenuation, stop band attenuation. In some of the books, alpha A and alpha P is also given. So don't get confused. Okay. Alpha and delta are widely used to represent your ripples in the pass band and ripples in the stop band. Okay. Is it clear? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Now, coming to the ideal case, if I take ideal case, omega p is the point. After the omega p and before the omega p, the black color line. Can you tell me what is the difference between before omega p and after omega p? Black color. No, not. I'm talking about the
there
gain.
will be output like.
No. Gain of the response before delta p. Delta p omega p minus omega p plus. For the black color only, I'm asking.
No difference, sir.
Hey, why not? It is 1, no? Before the omega p.
Yeah, so before omega p it's 1 only. After omega p it's 0. Right?
It is 0, right? It is sudden change, 1 to 0. Yes or no? There is an instantaneous change. A pass band is suddenly jumps into an attenuation band at no time, within no time, or no. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But in all practical cases, do you think it is possible to jump from 1 to 0 directly?
No.
But how fast you jump is better. It is something like in your bike, disc brake and drum brakes. What is the difference?
Yeah, disc will stop
Instantaneously the
Yeah.
vehicle stopped.
Instantaneously also there will be some delay actually. People say it is instantaneous, but maybe 1 second difference will be there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
You apply the brakes, maybe after 1 second it will be applied. The moment you apply, it will not stop generally. So people prefer to have drum brakes or this one, disc brakes.
Discs.
Drum.
The reason is they want faster response. Yeah, in terms of the accidents, I agree, but in terms of the performance,
Okay. Discs.
which one is acceptable? If somebody is suddenly you are driving the bike, person comes in front of you, you want to stop immediately or you want a delay to get stopped?
Immediately.
Immediately, no? So performance point of view, always you want immediately so that accident cannot happen, isn't it? But generally there is a delay always will be there, drum brake. So now you tell me, the black color will be the desired response, but what we get it is red color, which is practical response, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So how much deviation, how much delay is expected? That is called transition band. Delta omega, what is given there, no? That's called transition band, which is the gap or the between two frequencies where my response will jump from pass band to the stop band. Arena. So where the response is going to move from pass band to stop band, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So you tell me delta omega should be as less as possible or it should be as more as possible?
As less as possible.
So that is more important. You should underline this point. Okay. Delta omega must be as less as possible. The difference between omega R and omega p must be as small as possible. I think here it is given two values, omega p and omega r. then it is called more ideal filter. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Now let me go characterization of the FIR filter. Ultimately, you are supposed to obtain the impulse response h of k.
Yeah, can you show the previous image?
Yeah. Any doubts in this?
Like specs also, can you show the specs also, sir?
Total 5 points, no?
Yeah, 5 points. Just
sampling frequency is capital T actually. Here omega s is not mentioned, but omega s will give you the capital T. Pi by capital T is given, no? Here delta P, delta R, omega P, omega R. Omega s is not shown, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Delta omega is not shown.
Omega s is not given. Last one.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, so what is omega s? 2 pi fs. Can you write that way? Omega s is equal to 2 pi fs. Can we write or not?
Yes, sir. In terms of
fs equal to 1 by t. That is your this one. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so ultimately, when somebody wanted to design the FIR filter, your objective is to find the impulse response h of k. That is what it is. So you have multiple methods. First method is called window. The second is called frequency sampling method, and one more method is called what is that? Some method I forgot. Approximation of derivative, something like that is that. But only two methods are widely used. One is called window method, other is called the frequency sampling method. I think, is it okay or shall I continue with the window method? If you feel so far whatever we discussed, you can remember, I feel happy. If you want me to continue with the window, I'll explain today itself or tomorrow. It's up to you. You tell me.
Your wish, sir.
Okay, so you are not saturated, no?
You can continue, sir. No problem.
Yeah, fine. So then I'm trying to talk about the window method, because again, let me go back to the syllabus. Just now I mentioned, right? So we are trying to discuss FIR digital filter design techniques, which are window technique and the frequency sampling method. But for coming to the properties, already we discussed. Design of FIR filter using what is given here? Windows, isn't it?
Windows, yes, sir.
So only one technique only is given as a part of the syllabus. Actually, frequency sampling method is also there. Which I'm not going to discuss. Only the window method I'll discuss.
One second, sir. The syllabus that we have got in that, it is there, sir.
Just show me
sampling techniques.
Is there?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I don't have the updated syllabus. If you have, can you share now in the PP in the group?
1 second, sir. I'll share it.
So that I even follow that, because it is our college, our department syllabus. I asked many times, but somehow sir might have sent, but I lost it. Can you share so that I can open that? You're sharing in the WhatsApp? If it is there, we'll discuss. Otherwise, we'll skip. Okay, depends on the requirement. I think you can keep in the DSP group.
Shared, sir, already.
In the DSP group, huh? Yeah. So, yeah, FIR, digital filter design, properties of FIR, design FIR using windows. Okay. Then we'll discuss both of them. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then it is fine, because I don't have updated syllabus. Okay, fine. So both of them are given in this PPT also. So it's not an issue. So let us complete the window method first. So FIR filter design using window method. So one thing is sure that I said, desired frequency response is something which we are interested, and practical frequency response which we are going to obtain. Okay. So here the frequency response of the filter is given as hi of omega, which is given by h of n is equal to 1 by 2 pi. It's the inverse discrete type Fourier transform expression, because whoever gives specifications, the specifications are given in the frequency domain or time domain as per this particular diagram. The specs, whatever it is written here, is a frequency domain or time domain?
Frequency domain, sir.
Frequency domain. Okay. If somebody gives you specs in the frequency domain, what is my first job? You convert those frequency domain. I mean, by using those frequency domain specifications, you get your time domain expression. So that is impulse response. So frequency response of the filter is given as h in I of omega. Then corresponding impulse response h I of n can be calculated by inverse DTFT, IDTFT, the other name. Okay. So 1 by 2 pi minus pi to the plus pi h I of omega into e power j omega and d omega. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Respond. Yeah. For the ideal frequency response, the magnitude just now we have seen between 0 to omega p or between 0 to omega p. What is the height you got? Black color height.
1.
1. So I think that is what is submitted. Ideal low pass frequency or low pass response calculated can be 1 by 2 pi minus pi to plus pi. H I of omega is replaced by 1 into e power j omega n. If you try to solve the integration 1 by 2 pi, even though it is given minus pi to the plus pi, but my magnitude is 1 from minus omega p to plus omega p, isn't it? Yes or no? I said in the specification only positive side is represented, but in all mathematical consideration we should take negative also. So if it is given omega p in the right hand side, in the left hand side what is going to be? Minus omega p, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So my integration instead of minus pi to the plus pi, my amplitude is non-zero only between minus omega p to the plus omega p. That is the reason can I modify minus pi to plus pi limits into a minus omega c to plus omega c? Respond. Here you are able to see the limits minus pi to plus pi here.
Yes, sir.
Which what I did here?
Converting the omegas.
No. Even though the range is minus pi to the plus pi, but in this entire range, because the low pass filter, only from minus omega c to plus omega c only, this value is 1, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
So this one, when you write area, no, minus pi to the plus pi, this one cannot be there from minus pi to plus pi. Actually, this is wrong. When you write 1 here, it should be minus omega c to plus omega c, correct?
Yes.
So then e power j omega, and if you do it, so you are going to get this kind of response. If you substitute and do final derivation. So when n is equal to 0, you will get 2 into fc a value. Even height where h of n I am talking about. When n is not equal to 0, now you tell me the impulse response what I get here, finite in length or infinite in length?
Infinite length.
Infinite. But what is my objective?
Finite.
Finite. So that is the reason in a normal procedure, if you try to find inverse discrete time Fourier transform, whatever impulse response I am going to get, it is giving infinite length impulse response. Yes or no? Can anybody say how it is, how the shape of this particular function sine n omega by n omega?
1. No, you like.
It is sinc function. Do you know sinc? Don't know sinc?
No, sir.
Yeah, sinc means it looks like this, the bottom one. Is it okay?
Okay.
It is sinc basically. At n equal to 0, it is 2fc. This is 2fc, the middle one. When n is equal to not 0, it is going to reduce. As n is increasing, it is keeps on decreasing. Okay. So this is impulse response for the given ideal frequency response. Red color is the ideal frequency response, no?
Yes, sir.
So for the ideal frequency response, I got impulse response is this one with infinite number of points. So do you think infinite number of points will help us to solve our problem?
No, sir.
No. Then what I'm going to do, I wanted to truncate. Truncate means even though the length is infinity, I just wanted to take only finite samples. Maybe from 0 onwards, maybe some plus 5 this side and some 5 the left side. So total 11 samples I wanted to make use of it. How can I get 11 samples? I need to multiply with some window, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So that window is called here actually. So truncation of infinite impulse response to a finite impulse response is called FIR. Is it clear?